Welcome, ברוכים הבאים to כולל, ברוך, אהבת ישראל. We want to first and foremost thank you to our host, Brian and Nikki, for hosting us here at the studios. Really appreciate the fantastic studios. By the way, whoever needs any production, you come here. MB Studios, I have to tell you, it's a one-stop shop. So we really appreciate it. God bless you. And, we're really honored to be here. I want to, usually before we start a class, we always bless people that need the refuah, to be healed, Be'ezat Hashem. Brian, what's your mother's name? Joyce. Be'ezat Hashem, refuah shlema to Brian, the son of Joyce, and to Guy ben Rinat Sarah. Be'ezat Hashem, Baruch Chai ben Chaya Miriam, Zahvit Batova, Flori bat Rachel, Pinchas ben Rachel, רפואה שלמה to יוסי בן שמחה, בעזרת השם, רפואה שלמה to hope, what's your name? כן, חיה בת חייקה, כן, בעזרת השם, anybody רפואה שלמה? גרשון בן? דיאטריס, בעזרת השם, that's Gary next to you, right? בעזרת השם, Natalie, to your father and mother? Roman ben Ksenia, yeah. Steve and Stefan. Anna Bat. Alexandra. Be'ezat Hashem. Anybody else? All right, so for everybody, all the wounded, all the people that needs healing, God bless them and heal them. And we want to first and foremost also dedicate the class to Steve's mother, Zichronah Livracha, Chana Bat Masud. She passed away last week. And Be'ezat Hashem, in the heavens she may reside, together with all the people that perished. God bless them all, Be'ezat Hashem. All right, so the most important thing to talk about today, we have a three-part series. It's called the Sefirot. Sefirot is the godly attribute of powers that God gave everybody, regardless if you're Jewish or not. Right? God gave 10 Sefirot, 10 supernal powers, divine powers that you can understand God. Because if you didn't have that, you could never, it's like having a studio, right? If you don't have the right camera connected to the right, heart, to the right electricity, it will never produce anything, right? Same thing, those Sefirot. Those are called supernal divine Sefirot. So we spoke about a few of them already. We're just going to catch up. There is what we call the crown. The crown is so-called knowledge. And then we have the wisdom. And then we have the understanding, then we have kindness, then we have the judgment, and now we're up to the other 5, which is Tiferet, which means beauty, Netzach, which is eternity, then Hod, which is splendor, Yesod, the foundation, and kingdom, which is what we call above all. This is God. All right. So God created the world for us. It's very interesting. In the first chapter of Genesis, right? The book of Genesis has the first chapter, the word God appears 32 times. The word Elohim, God has many names, right? We're all inside God, just so you understand. God created the world, but originally he used one name that's called Elohim. Elohim in Hebrew is actually judgment. When you hear the word Elohim is judgment. When you hear the word Adonai is mercy. Okay? So in the beginning, everything was created with judgment. The first day, the second, so on and so forth. 6 days created everything. On 6 days, everything that was created has expiration date. Nothing is forever, right? Yes. We die, we come from the ground, we go back to the ground. Your machine could go for maybe 10 years, then you have to get a new one. You get a computer, in 2 months you have to upgrade, right? So, the creation is so amazing. I have a doctor here who will tell you something. When you become a doctor, you have to keep up with technology, right? And a doctor could see God's creation in the highest level. To have a machine that's called human. Do you know how many components has to work together in such an amazing unison, right? Just to look at a person. The word Job, you heard of Job? Job was the most holy non-Jew in the Bible. He was very powerful, very rich, very everything. And Satan, you ask about Satan. Satan came to God and says, I'm going to show you he's not that great. It's because he's rich and this, he loves you, this. He was the most righteous non-Jew in the whole history until today of the world. And God says, go ahead, but don't mess up with his mind, with his soul, so to speak. You can hurt his body, whatever. Satan came, killed all the 10 children, took all his wealth, and made him suffer for 70 years, the Gemara says. And he never cursed God. He always said, thank you, God. And he said something beautiful. He said, I recognize God from my own body. Mi besari, he said, from my own body, I see God. Mi besari acheze Eloha. Now, when it comes to creation, right? Let's say somebody come and create a plastic table. Great. Somebody come and create a computer. Who do you think is more smart? Computer. That's right. How many components goes to a computer? How many thoughts, right? Now imagine you have a whole world. You have like thousands and thousands of species of fish in the ocean. Colors, unbelievable, beautiful. Some of them with electricity, some of them deep, so you don't see them, some of them above. And they all live every day until they get eaten by somebody else, right? But they live in the ocean. They all have this spark of God. This so-called, the animals don't have, we have 3 parts to our soul. We have what we call the neshama, the highest, which is the one in the head. Then we have the nefesh, which is our soul, which is in the heart. And then we have the ruach, which is the spiritual part. Those 3 components has to work together in unison. How many pounds a person eat in a year, doctor? Let's say you eat 2 pounds a day, times 365. Imagine. Average. A person eats 2 to 3 pounds a day. Average.
I guess so, right?
Yeah, in America it's 5-10. But no, but it's true. You can have, imagine, almost 1,000 pounds, and it goes through you, and it digests everything and does everything. It's a machine that just.
It is a machine.
It is a machine, right? A spark of God.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with the birds. You see all color. Have you ever seen a hummingbird?
Of course.
A hummingbird is one of the most amazing creations. The heartbeat of a hummingbird is 1,200 a minute. 1,200. Yeah.
Do you know one thing? I think the only thing God might have screwed up on. He should have made like pizza and chocolate and tequila, good for the body.
So everything that we have in the world, God gave us to create.
Yes.
God created everything in 6 days, and the 7th day He created something else. It's called rest. You have to rest on the 7th day.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. The Islam rests on the 6th day, the Jews on the 7th day, and the Christian on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Right? Everybody has to rest. So in a sense, if you look at the world, you look at everything around you, look at your studio, you look at creation, you look at nature, you see how God created everything in such wisdom, and you don't see God.
Yeah.
And all has powers that renew itself every day, every second of the day. Yeah. So the more the creation is better, the smarter the creator, right? So those 10 Sefirot that God gave us, those 10 attributes, give us the ability to connect everything. Yes, sir.
Just to take a step back.
Yeah.
How old was Job? What age did he get to?
It's a great question. So some say it was in his 80s. The book of Job, who wrote it? Moses. So he lived because Job and Jethro, you heard of them, right? And one more person, who was it? Bilam.
Wait, Job? Jethro?
Jethro and Job and Bilam were the advisors to King Pharaoh. Okay? King Pharaoh had the rudest king ever in the history of the world. It was a midget, but he would kill anybody that he didn't like. He would just look at him and go like this, and they kill him. To go into his palace, he had 400 doors. His palace, he was a magician, black magic. The Zohar said that, the Zohar is the secrets of the Torah, the Kabbalah. There is the Torah, has the written Torah, the oral, and then the secret of the Torah. Imagine his whole palace is floating in mid-air over the Nile. He knew how to do this magic. Okay? Yes, sir. You're laughing. What? Okay. By the way, we have Eliana here, a youngest doctor in the whole Thousand Oaks. Amazing. I think she's smarter than her father. No, I'm kidding. But to become such knowledge, right? This is amazing, Eliana. This is for you. She doesn't like when I embarrass her. But to become to this kind of understanding, you connect those Sefirot together, right? To come and to be a doctor at a young age, that means you already bypass most people in knowledge and IQ, and right? So this we spoke about those 5 of them. Now we continue to the next one. So we said that God, in the first chapter of Genesis, used the name God, Elohim, 32 times. Why? Because we have 22 letters in the Hebrew, and we have those 10 attributes. So together, 32, right? In Gematria, numerical code, the Torah has, everything is codes from the Matrix. You saw the Matrix?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yes.
The Matrix was 2 Jewish guys, a true story, from San Diego that learned the Zohar, the Kabbalah, and did not know anything about Torah and got crazy. They became women now, they're transgenders, and they did all the movies of the Matrix and the Fifth Element and whatnot.
Oh, Fifth Element.
Yes. They got crazy. Because you're not allowed to learn unless you have the base. You can learn, but to understand, you have to have the base, right? So those 32 attributes, the letters, in English, you have 26 letters. God in Hebrew, in numerical code, is 26. In English too, 26. G-O-D, 15. G, you have the 7, O, 15, and D, 4. 26, God also. The Torah, our 5 books of Moses, opens with the letter Bet, B, and ends with the letter L for Israel. Together in Gematria, 32, Lev. 32 Netivot. So everything that God created is by words. God created the world in a way that it can almost maintain itself every second of the day, but at the same time, you can do things. God created everything for you to do, right? To become you in your profession, it's already in you. God just gave you the knowledge to do it, right? To be a musician. We have an amazing musician here. He plays so many instruments. Why? Because everything is connected. You know who was the first musician in the Torah, in the Bible? Yuval. There was in the book of Genesis, one of the grandson of Adam was a musician. Yuval, he knew how to play all kinds of music instruments. King David was also a musician. He had a harp, right? We call it in our term sometimes a violin, right? It had 10 strings. All the music, everything that you see in the world came from our Torah. Every creation, everything you see, whatever God says, you'll find it today in the world. There is the heaven on earth, right? You wake up, you see the sky, you see the earth, right? Talks about the pyramids in Egypt, you see the pyramids. Talk about Jerusalem. Even though Jerusalem does not appear in the 5 books of Moses, not even one time. In the Quran, who appears more in the Quran, Muhammad or Moses? Moses, 136 times in the Quran. Yeah, the Quran is based on our Torah, just with a lot of mistakes and wish and wishy. But in a sense, everything is based on God's creation. So today we're going to speak about the attribute. The next one is what we call Tiferet. Tiferet is a beauty. It's also known as glory. And it's actually, by the way, our body has the 10 Sefirot. If you look at our body, has everything from the head, the Keter, to all the way to Malchut. Our hands, our hearts, our private parts. It's all part of this. And it says that in a sense, this middle of the tree of our body, because we all came from The heavens, right? When God created Adam, from him, they'll come all the souls. He was thrown out of heavens. Now we want to go back in, right? All our life. What do we want to do? Say, I want to be in heaven, right? Imagine in heaven you can eat as much as you want. You never gain weight. You can drink as much as you want. You have thousands of trees in the heavens. Just so you know, all the trees bear fruit. Even a bush outside that you see outside of your office had fruit. Yeah, everything was ready. You didn't have to wait a season, 3 years like we have to wait today. Yeah. Gan Eden, yes. There was one guy in the whole history of the world that went to Gan Eden, went to the heaven, came out to tell about it. Rabbi Yoshua Levi. Yes. Rabbi Yoshua Levi, he was about to die. So the Satan came to take him. The Satan is the devil. Is also the angel of death. It's all the same. He came to take him. So he says to him, I'm going to heaven. He said, I know, but I still have to kill you. So he says to Satan, can I see the sword that you have? He has this giant sword that has the drop of the death that they put in the mouth and your body goes rotten in 24 hours. So he let him see this. This rabbi, Yoshua Levi, stole it and jumped into heaven. And now Satan, without his tool, the angel of death, complaining to God, says, I need that. I'm an angel of death. You made me. I need to kill people. That's what my job is. So he said, I'll give it back to you. Hashem says, please. He said, no, only if I come out, he doesn't touch me. Because I want to tell people, and he wrote a book about the heavens. We still have it today. How many trees? What kind of trees? How many? There's just, so you know, 7 heaven. You heard of the term 7 heaven? Right? There's 7 layers of heaven, and there's also 7 layers of hell, which it's in our planet, inside. The lava that we have, the core of the earth, that's really hell. That's you get burned every day. Now, many people say, how long do you have time in hell? How much? A year? Very good. That's just the trial. Then you come to be the punishment. For an example, we just read last week Korach, right? Korach was one of the high priests that wanted to contest Moses and Aaron. And he actually was swallowed by the earth with 250 people. And they're actually right by the level of hell. They get burned every day. So the 12 months is the trial. When a person, some people don't ever go to hell. They immediately skip and go to heaven because they had such a good life. They were righteous. They did good. They helped. You don't have to be Orthodox Jew to go to heaven. There's heaven for the non-Jews and heaven for the Jews. Just so you know. There's a lot of good people in different, there's 18,000 worlds that God set for people after they pass. The trial is 12 months. But then, what's the outcome? Some people, they're for eternity. There's a story in Israel. This is very interesting because it comes with the Tiferet. There was a soldier that was in the Hermon mountain, northern Israel, the border that between Jordan and Syria. There is the only ski resorts in Israel. There's one place, right? Hermon. Who went to the Hermon? You served there? Good. The Hermon, has snow 5 months of the year, maybe, right? Today we took everything. We used to divide it with Syria, but when Syria is gone, we took it all over now. You know who used to be the rulers there? The giant, Og Melech HaBashan. There was a giant in the Bible, few of them, and he used to be the ruler. So it was a soldier that knew how to do science. You know how do you do science? You call it science, right? When you bring the dead back. It's put like a seance. Thank you. Seance in Hebrew. I don't know. Sorry. Forgive me. I'm from Israel. So they did that. He said, I know how to bring any soul you want. So they gathered 5 soldiers. By the way, it's recorded and everything. and they put all kinds of candles, and he said all kinds of different words, and whatever they do, I don't know. And he brought the soul of Ben Gurion. David Ben Gurion was the first prime minister of Israel. Okay? He was the worst person for Israel. He hated everybody that was religious, and everybody that Hitler came to him. Eichmann, Hitler's a guy from England, says, "I'll give you 1 million Jews. Give me 10,000 trucks." Ben Gurion says, "No, I don't need them. They're too old." That's what Hitler says. So they brought his soul, and they asked him, "Where are you?" And he said to them, there's a recording, I can send you this on YouTube. And he says, "I'm here for eternity in hell. Pray for me." All these 5 soldiers, after he came to them, and they see him, they see his image, and he talks to them like he's there, all of them returned to God. All of them repented, became religious. 2 of them went crazy. 3 of them, 1 of them became a rabbi. So it's possible, because in our Bible, it says you can go to certain people called Ov and Yedonim. They can bring neshamot, they can bring souls from hell or from heaven just to talk and bring them back.
King Saul did that.
Yes, exactly. King Saul did that. That's why he was punished, by the way. You're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to do that. Right? In America, they have all this $5 hand reading. Right? I don't know how you can have a beautiful house with $5. How many people come? Money laundering, whatever. Right? No more. So, I always pass by and she can never get it. I thought, the future. I'm not coming. So the Tiferet, when you have this beauty, you can do something that's glorious. Because it says here, and by the way, whatever I teach here is from the Zohar. Okay? It's from the secret Kabbalah of the Torah. And it says that this Sephirah, balancing the forces between the kindness and the Gevurah, which is the judgment. To be a hero, it doesn't mean to fight somebody. A hero is a person that can control himself or herself. Right? Many times you want to do bad things, but you say, no, I can control my evil inclination. I can control it. Right? You are actually Gibor. It's called Gibor, means hero. To go fight 2 guys in ring and kill each other, they have 0 knowledge and they make $30 million a night. Right? Mike Tyson, for an example, I know him very well. He cannot even speak. But he's a rich guy. Why? Because he can fight. But that's not what hero. God says no. A hero is a person, regardless, Jewish or not, that is the good person that can conquer his evil inclination. So a person that has this tiferet, this kind of supernal power, has this beauty, can control these 2 elements. Because you have good, which is chesed and kindness, and you have bad. Gvura sometimes could be very bad. If somebody's feel that they can do a lot of stuff, you see Putin now is attacking Ukraine for 3.5 years. Why? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Okay, so you took Crimea, you took whatever. But in reality, they are being punished by God because they killed a lot of Jews many years ago. Every nation that you see fighting today, for an example, the Zohar says that every country has an angel. And the angel above fight. And whoever wins, the country loses. So we have our angel of Israel is Michael, the angel Michael. And for Iran, they have an angel called Dubiel. Dubiel is the angel of Iran. And he lost. That's why Israel was about to defeat them in 12 days. Because the angels fought and they won. Whenever countries goes to war, it's always payment for something they did. If you're a good country, you don't go to war. Right? Switzerland is the only country that has no military. Why? Because they stole all the money of the Jews in the Holocaust. And they hide secrets money for all over the world, right? They opened the Cayman Island, right? There's a big thing about going hiding money in the Cayman Island and whatnot. You go, you ask for money. There's no money, not even $1. The banks don't live on cash, right? It's all fractional earning. If you want to go to the bank, say, I want my money out, they say, give us a week. They don't have money in the bank. A couple hundreds, maybe 1,000, but they don't keep money in the bank. When a person has this kind of knowledge, he knows how to control everything within him or her.
I have a question.
Ken,
I want to go back to when we said 12 months when the spirit goes up.
there's a judgment for 12 months.
Judgment 12 months. So that means that nobody can reincarnate for less than 12 months time.
No, that's not true. Very good question, but no. So, we have several rabbis that speaks about reincarnation. Like the Arizal, for an example. Reincarnation is sometimes a person dies and come back as a different person. Right? Sometimes not the whole soul comes back, only part of it. Okay? So you can reincarnate even a day after you passed away. You can easily do that.
That's only if you were good or anybody.
So it depends on we don't know. There's many reincarnation through the generation, right? By the way, all of us here, we were all here before in different life. And we were all together from the destruction of the second temple. Right? We know who destroyed the second temple. The Roman, Titus, right? They ruled the world at the time. They were ruling all the whole world. And we, and the people of Israel, were in Israel, and they destroyed our temple. Why? Not because they needed to, because we were bad. Right? You have a beautiful house. You bring drug dealers to it. It'll be destroyed. When one of the rabbis came out from outside of the temple, they asked him, "What? You have 3 wishes." He never asked to save the temple. Ask him why. He says, because I know we already destroyed it. Right? So when you have a reincarnation, it could be in any time. Could be generation, could be 2. You can go to hell. You can go even to heaven and come back. Okay? So it says that, this attribute is considered a primary attribute in the male. Why? Because he said that, the Sefirah brings also mercy. Women are mercy by default. Women always, by the way, women, good righteous women, they come to this lifetime one time. That's it. They don't reincarnate. Only men. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. Okay.
Only men sin.
Only men. Yeah. So if a good woman that, believe in God, it doesn't matter Jewish or not, if she's a good woman, she comes to help her husband in one time. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she does. She comes to help and leave.
There you go.
Right? It's very, very interesting. This Sefirah, it said that it brings such a mercy because, we come from a place, it's called the womb, right? When a baby is born, it's come from where? From the womb. Womb in Hebrew means rechem, right? Rechem is the word rahmanut, right? Mercy. It's such a miracle to have a baby grow in you in the water. It's like, a baby is a fish. It's like a mammal in water. It has a bag. It's called the placenta bag. In Hebrew, called shilia, right? Shilia is in Hebrew words means shel, ya. All that's happened there is from God. A baby grows, from the mother feeds him through her umbilical cord, and it's all liquid, right? And all of a sudden, the moment he comes out or she comes out, it changes from liquid to air, right? Immediately. Why they do? They clean the air, so take out the water, and what the baby does first? Cries. I don't want to be here. Put me back. It's true. I don't want to be here. What do I need this? No, put me back. I was such comfortable. Everything that you say, the baby hear. Everything that you eat, the baby tastes. If you're angry, the baby will come out angry. If you relax, the baby will come out relaxed. If you're kind, the baby will come out kind. Right? So that's an amazing influence. This is part of this so-called Sefirah, because it has association with what we call the Torah. It corresponds to the essence of combining almost 3 of them into one. As we said, it's combined the kindness, the strength, and the mercy into one thing. And this really system is actually considered as the Vav. That we have the Hebrew letter Vav is the connector letter. Like you want to say this and this. The end is the connector. Vav is the letter that connects everything, right? Aram and Eve, right? And Ve, for an example. So this is, the color of it is purple. As we said before, each one has a color. You know, colors and flags and everything you know today came from the Torah. Everything. And you see it today, for an example. Very interesting. The Christian has flags. 95% of them has red in it. All the Christian countries in the world, there's 195 countries in the world. That's known, recognized countries that has flags, so to speak. There's 10 other that's, smaller. But in all the Christian countries, most of them has red in the flag. Did you ever ask yourself why? Esav was Edom. He was red. Esav was the brother of Jacob, twin brother. He's the Edomites. He's the Christian. Because he was a redhead, they used red. And when he came out, he was completely bloody. So everybody used red in the flags, right? We have 52 or 57 Muslim countries in the world, right? Like everything, you have wealth, you have oil, you have whatever, money, everything. Not enough. They want Israel. But in reality, even their own so-called prophet, Muhammad, says the land of Israel belongs to Israel, to the children of Moses. Let it be. This is when a person don't have this kind. When they have so limited level of understanding God, they always want something they cannot have. Right? When somebody wants something that don't belongs to them, they will lose that and lose what they have. So this is the Tiferet. So very, very, very amazing part. He said this actually coincides with the torso of the human. And we see that, the color is purple. Is that okay? Any question on this portion here? Good? All right, Aiden, any question? You always have good questions. Okay.
Question about
Yeah. Reincarnation.
About when someone comes back, it's like a flame, right? We're compared to a flame, but it's just, so when you say you come back, maybe it's not you, right? It's like part of your
Yes,
flame.
correct.
So we don't know, that's part of the mystery. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't, it can split, it can do things.
Yeah, so
flame, you can take flame.
100%. You can take one candle, and light 1,000 candles, right? And still have a candle. What he's saying that part of our light that come back as a reincarnation, we don't know who we are. Because, we come to this life, you're Dr. Steve. In past life, who knows where you were? Nobody knows. There was few very holy rabbis that see you and can tell you who you were from day one. All the souls that you were before. And they can fix you. They can tell you what to do in order not to come back here. Yes, sir. First, the young one. I'm sorry.
I just want to know, is that because say you go to one of those rabbis, that's okay with in God's eyes, that would be okay to all the your souls in the past? Is that how you would?
Yeah. So it's very, very interesting point. There's a lot of the warriors there goes to fight there. They don't even know. There's a lot of Jews in Gaza that left Judaism many years ago, became Arabs, but they're fighting each other, brothers. There were soldiers that used to go to rabbis and say, why am I fighting in Gaza? Why? Because his soul was in Gaza before. It's very, very interesting. Yeah.
Is it possible that your soul, when you come in, when you're reincarnated, can that be male or female?
So again, female souls that come to this world, if they come for one time, they don't reincarnate. If they're good, if not, they will reincarnate. I'll give you a story from the Zohar. There is a woman that came back, could not have children. So she went to the rabbi. And the rabbi says, you cannot have children because you were a man before and used to rape a lot of women. And you come back to be punished, not have children. Right? And it's very, very dangerous to give men a woman name and to a woman a man's name. Don't do it, because a woman that has men's name will have problem having babies. Okay? The reincarnation, very, very few people know. In our generation, there is, in every generation, you have 36 righteous people that nobody knows about them. They don't tell anybody. When somebody says righteous, get away from them. There's no such thing. Only God is righteous. And the people that God made righteous, they don't tell anybody. They will never tell you I'm tzaddik. They will never tell you I can, tell you who you were before. Such rabbis never advertise it. Never, ever, ever. If somebody asks for money to help you with some don't. Get away from them. Because God says, I give everything for free. They will give it to you for free. Right? The essence of God is good, right? Is always good. God says, I give you so much. I want you to be like me. I know you're not perfect. None of us is perfect. But at the same time, try to be better. Right? So, and
in
yet,
reincarnation, it's possible that you meet someone that you knew before.
yeah,
So
so
I'm going to tell you a quick story.
Yeah,
Quick.
yeah,
It
yeah,
happened
please,
to me.
please.
It happened. A lot of weird stuff happens to me. Anyway, I had an aunt that was. Her name
it's
was,
not weird. You have such a high soul, just so you know, neshama. It's not weird. It's amazing.
I had an aunt called Marcel. It's a long story. She was raped in the Farhud in Iraq. Anyway, it's a
Okay.
long story. But she was my favorite aunt, and she died very young. I think she was 21 when she died.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I was a kid. I always loved her. I mean, she was like young aunt. And then one time, like 40 years after, when I already lived in America, and when I had the kids, we had always someone come to live in the house, to take care of the kids, babysitter. So one time the woman comes, young, and she looks so much like my aunt. I said, oh my God.
Yes, the reincarnation.
Wow.
It could
That was
happen,
The
yeah.
same one. And I said, what's your name? She said, Marcel.
Wow.
Same name.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll tell you a story in Israel. You probably heard of it. Smile, everybody. Brian, get in a little bit. Smile, Brian.
I'm sorry.
Beautiful smile. All right. So I'll tell you a story. Many stories in Israel and all over the world. But in Israel, I know because my rabbi told me. There's a kid that was born Druze. Druze are not, there are certain Muslims, but they're not like the Islam. Okay? They consider the children of Jethro. Because, Jethro converted. At the time when Jethro converted, he was like the Pope of today. Millions of people. And he come one day, he says, you know what? I saw what God did to you in Egypt and took you out and won this and opened the sea for you and whatnot. I'm converting. And he converted all his people with him.
Rabbi, what are they called? Druids?
Druze. So a kid was born in Masdar Shams, which is right under the Hermon. So there's a mountain in Israel, the tallest mountain there, the skiers. Underneath, they live, all of the Druze live there, and some other, but most of them, and they raise cherries. A baby was born there, speaks only English, not just English, British English. The moment he starts speaking, he speaks English fluent with a British accent. And he's, Arabic. When he's 2 years old, he says to his father, we need to go to England. He said, why England? He says, I'll tell you where I was born. I was murdered in England. A kid, 2 to 3 or something like that. He speaks fluent English, British accent galore. Like, what the heck is going on? So they flew him to England. And they, by the way, they videotaped the whole. So he takes them to a neighborhood. He says, I used to live in this house. And her name was to be my wife. And I was murdered by this guy in a different street. But this is my wife. Open the door, ask her what's her name, that when her husband died. And he gave them the date. He said, I was her husband. It was reincarnated into a child in Israel. Right? Another kid, for some reason it happened to Druze. So this happened to Israelis too, or Americans. That happened to a lot of people. Another kid was, I think when he started almost 10 or 11 years old, he says to his father, I'm your son, of course, but I want you to know I used to live in a different village in this house, and I hid a treasure under the steps. We have to go get it. So they went to this other village. They took out the first step, already built the house and everything. They convinced the new owner, let us dig here. My son said, he used to live here. And he had a treasure that his father gave him. And that's exactly was that. It was a diamonds, necklace or bracelet that his father gave him before he died, and he hid it there underground. It's a reincarnation. Yes, sir.
So we had a conversation yesterday.
Keep it private.
Conversation
No, I'm
was
kidding.
that there are people out there who are animals come to them.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, of course.
And they're not doing anything. They're no different than any of us.
Yeah.
There's something that animals
Gravitate to. Yeah, of course.
What is that?
So it's very interesting. There's people that has certain powers that we don't see, but nature will testament to this power. There are certain people that animals see wants to attack immediately. They're people that human but act like animals. They don't see a person, they see animal. On the other hand, there's kind people that took care. For an example, there's a guy that died. His dog went to sit on the gravesite for almost a year. He would not leave. Every day, he'd come from the house, go sit on the grave, and come back. Every day, a German Shepherd. You can look at this. Everything I tell you has online. You can see it on the YouTube, and they tell the story. Those people that animals gravitate to them because they're kindness. They are such one of the Sefirot of kindness to all creatures. You have to have mercy on every creature because they got creatures.
Story that you said, I heard it from the first guy. He died 6 months later. The dog was not at the funeral, never visited the cemetery, never did anything. One day the dog left the house, went all the way to the cemetery, to the grave, or sitting in the grave. Nobody knows how.
Yeah.
Nobody knows anything. I heard it from the mother of the child. Like crazy.
In Jerusalem last year, say hello. I will talk to you. Yeah, we'll go. Say hi to the family. Refuah Shlema. In Jerusalem last year, there's a video of it too. There's a dog that every Friday comes to the house of the rabbi. The rabbi goes to pray every Friday before Sabbath. The dog follows him to shul, to the synagogue. Then he waits outside. The rabbi finishes. He follows him home and he sits outside by the door. 4 months he does it. Every Shabbat. He disappears all week, this dog, but every Friday he comes. And so a big rabbi came to visit him. And he tells him, this dog follows me. So he says, there was a reincarnational person that stole from you in the past life. You have to forgive him. Tell him you forgive him 3 times. The rabbi tells this person, tell you forgive him 3 times to the dog. The moment he said, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, the dog went to the road, got hit by a car, and died. Yeah.
But why are dogs considered the most spiritually?
No, so the most impure animals.
Yeah, why is that?
Dog is very impure, right? I always tell everybody, don't let your dog lick you because he licks his tuches, right? All right, let's leave it at that. Dog is the most impure. I know we all love dogs. We have, believe me, my daughter got a dog and went to college. I have to take care of it. Dogs, halachically, by law, you're not allowed to raise dog that can attack. You cannot allow. This is not allowed. You can have dogs like a puro, right? It's called mahmad. Small little dogs that can be companion and whatnot. Growing up, we never had dogs in the house. There's no such thing. In Israel, back in the days, dogs were outside. Believe me, they fend from themselves. We give them food. My mother would give them leftover food, one side to the dog, one side to the cats. Everybody got along. There's no such thing, dogs in the house. We have one veterinarian in northern Israel that covered from Kiryat Shmona to Haifa. Was one veterinarian, and he was my neighbor. This is the worst business I ever had. I never make any money. Back then, he was the first vet. The dog is impure. You know why? When God put Noah Noah in the ark. You heard of Noah in the ark? So, God says to Noah, listen, you have to take a couple from each animal. Not all, by the way. There's much more animals than Noah took. And Noah says, how would I know which one to take? There's thousands of lions and thousands of this, 10,000 of that, butterflies, you name it, all kinds of creatures. So God says to him, when you're done with the ark, the couple that can go up to the ark will be seated. All the other will be standing. Okay? Imagine 1,000 lions and lioness. Everybody standing. A couple, one of them, that never cheat on each other. The animals, called marriage in the Torah. So he said, they'll be seated. Those will come to you. The ark will receive them. Anybody that's not the ark will not receive them. And he says, don't have sexual relationship on the ark, because I'm destroying the world. You cannot enjoy each other. 3 had sex in the ark. This will shock you, and you too. Noah has 3 kids, right? Shem, Ham, and Yafet. Shem is the Jew. That's why I say anti-Semite, anti-Shem. Ham is Islam, and Yafet is Christianity. Christians are beautiful people, right? Yafet means beauty. So 3 had sex in the ark. Ham, the Arabs, did it at night. He's the first black person in the world. Came out black. Yes, he's the first black person. Because he sinned with sex at night. The dog sinned with sex too. And the crow. That's why, by the way, Noah released first what? From the crow, not the dove. The dove was later. But the dog and the crow says we'll repent. Because back then, animals spoke. Adam and Eve spoke to animals. Noah spoke to animals. They knew how to speak to animals. So the dog says, I'll repent. I will bring food to Elijah, Eliyahu Navi, for 40 days. The crow said that. I'll bring for 40 days. They did it. The dog says, when the people of Israel leave Egypt, I will not bark. Right? Dogs, you go by a house at night, they bark. It's even the neighborhood. Imagine 3.6 million people leave Egypt at the gates of the dog. Because, Pharaoh had magic. The Sphinx and everything. They see half man, Minotaur, all those statues. They're actually speaking. The dogs did not bark. The people there came. Because he was the first sinner on the ark, is most impure. Okay? God, you asked a question before about blood, the kind of blood and whatnot. Everything that God's created has a reason. Don't ever think God's created something for nothing. Right? We have what we call yatzar, is to create out of nothing, to create something out of nothing. And there is to bara, to create something out of something. Like to make a table, you need wood or plastic, whatever. But when God created something out of nothing, he created Adam. Vayitzer, he created something out of nothing. And then vebara, and then he used the component of earth. Right? That's why we came from the earth. We have to go back to the earth. Quickly, we're going to go to how are we doing on time? Everybody's okay? Yes? If you have any complaints, please, he's the guy. So, are you good on time? Are you good? Please eat some more pizza and stuff. All right? It's the same price. Go ahead. All right. So, it says we have the next one is netzach. Netzach means what we call victory. This is a component that can come with others as well, as we said before. And this is what we call something that people see, almost a part that has eternity in it, right? You meet people sometimes, right? You fall in love. You never knew them before. All of a sudden, in love instantly. I met my wife for now 30 years. I'm together with her. It only feels like 5 minutes underwater. So how come you meet a stranger and you want to spend the rest of your life with them? That means your souls are connected from the other world, right?
Yeah.
Because not that all the time you get married is the first wife is not always the right wife.
Oh, I know that.
No, it's true. Even King David, King David has 18 wives. His son, King Solomon, had 1,000 wives. But he had only 3 children. He married their wife and sent them to the countries to speak the word of God. That's why there was a peace in the world for 410 years. It's not about sex. He just wanted to have, because God says you are the smartest of men. He built the first temple. Then he had all the Sefirot at the best level possible of humanity. It was almost like Moses. Moses knew the 50 gates of wisdom. King Solomon knew 49. This that we have Netzach, something that's almost eternal. When you see something that you want to build good, you build it very good or you build it very bad. You want it to stay. You put good foundation, use good material. You want to buy a car, you always buy a good car so it lasts longer. You want to buy a good shoe? I have a hand-me-down. We had 11 kids, our family. I always got the stuff from the girls. No, I'm kidding. But in reality, you know, the shoes, you want to buy a shoe. People don't know that, but the shoe is part of your soul. That's why I call souls. The shoes have souls, right? Nobody ever can ever wear a shoe of another person. Not allowed. Halacha. There's a movie in the film industry that they made a movie about it. Adam Sandler and Dustin Hoffman. You saw the movie? About he was a shoemaker.
What was it called?
It's a very amazing. It's from the Torah. It's from the
There
Gemara.
was a Twilight Zone
So
movie
yeah.
that
So
made-
you
that
know,
made shoes.
Right.
Dustin Hoffman. You can look it up. Tell me what's the name. Dustin Hoffman was a shoemaker, and Adam Sandler came to
Cobbler?
the cobbler. That's it. Thank you. And he revealed to him. He says, you know, if you wear another shoe, you behave like this other person. Your whole personality will change. So you used to take different shoes and walk into this world of this person's shoe. That's why we always say, don't judge a person until you stand in their own shoes. You don't understand. Their souls, right? The soul has both right and left, right? You cannot have two left, two right. Your soulmate, why we call it soulmate, is really somebody that matches your soul. A person that can understand you to the highest level, that would build you up, not fight with you, that will build you up, right? Right? It's very, very interesting. Many movies made about it, but many people don't know. Most of the movies that come in Hollywood, you know, there's 12 studios in Hollywood, 9 of them are Jewish. All the movies before the new 3 was from Jews. Even all the Christmas songs by Jews, you know, MGM Jewish and Paramount, you name it, Fox, they're all Jews. And they used to use a lot of stuff from the Zohar, from the Kabbalah, from the Torah to make movies. You heard of Ben-Hur?
Of course.
I'm kidding. But in reality, the cobbler is somebody who uses other people's shoes. It says when you have this power of Netzach, you will never give your shoes to anybody because they're not allowed to walk in your shoes. No, you should. First, you know, there's a halacha, you burn them. If you can, bury them. Yes. You cannot allow to give your shoes to anybody. I know women love the second-hand whatever. Yes, sir.
So it's important for me to know all the mom's shoes have to be.
Yes. Thrown away. Don't donate them.
They're not the-
Don't donate. Either throw them in a place that nobody can find them.
all our shoes don't-
Nobody. You're not allowed to give shoes to others. Okay? Huh?
We're not gonna move it. I'm giving
Yes. So you can give clothes and whatnot, but don't give shoes. Because your shoes, you create, if you look at your shoe, you buy them new, they have a certain shape that fits you only, right? They mold into you who you are. Very interesting. So it says that, you know, a person that has this kind of knowledge of Netzach, of what's really the eternity, is actually a person that can connect the splendor with the victory. And a person like this is very much understand that God is what we call above all. Because, you know, many people believe in nature, right? You go to a good doctor. Can you go to a good doctor? Only if you go to God first. Yeah, it's true. If you go to a doctor before God, you are at the hands of the doctor. But if you go to God, He will send you the right doctor. Okay? Because God created you. You have to go back to your creator. Says, God, I don't feel good. Something is going on, as you know. God knows. Please help me. Send me the right doctor. I'll tell you a story about, huh?
This is very strong on rebuking us doctors. So strong that it says that if we think we do any of the curing, it's like
The Gemara says hell needs a lot of doctors.
That's basically the highway to hell. If you think you're the one doing it,
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you a story about Yossi. Can I tell you the story? You know, Yossi, Baruch Hashem, is cured from cancer. Baruch Hashem. About 5 months ago, he comes to me, Rabbi, help me, because, you know, they're moving me to, I'm supposed to go to this, I have my insurance with this, I have already time with this doctor, you know. They're moving me to another. I said, trust Hashem, he moves you to a better doctor. First, he was so angry, right? Yossi, what's going on? Why? I said, no, this is exactly, you should thank God that moves you from this hospital to a better hospital, to one of the best doctors that will cure you. And he started getting very close to God. You know, we get close to God when we need him, right? The key is to get close to God when you don't need him. When everything is good, then you get close to God. Now when you need him, everybody goes to God, right? So this is here, it says this is people that have the so-called netzach. It's victory, that they recognize God is above all, and respected of the netzach is correspond to the right leg in our body. Right? When you walk, usually when you come to a new house, let's say you have a new house, you want to move in the first day, first thing you want to do is hang a mezuzah. Okay? Mezuzah, it's a holy component that we put on our doors from the Bible. And when you walk in, you have to walk in with your right leg. And have a holy Bible or Siddur, a prayer book. Bring something godly. The first thing you want to bring to the house is something godly. Then God would reside within you, in your home. He said people that recognize, have this kind of netzach, they have the understanding that God is above all. Anybody that believes in nature is part of nature. Anybody believing God is above nature. You understand? God name, Elohim, as we said, in Gematria is 86, which called Hateva, above nature. When people goes just to nature, they're limited. But when they go to God, they have a lot more. Right? So it's important. This is the Netzach. The next one we come in is Hod. And you know, Hod, as we say, is the splendor. It's also a powerful. Hod also means when you recognize God, you give him such a respect that you really understand that your existence is by God. Like Steve said, Dr. Steve, many doctors think they're God, right? They're like, oh, I cure, I do that. Zero. We have a thing that says you're not allowed to ever say it's me and my power. No such thing. People, this is one of the 10 memories that we have to remember every day. Don't say to yourself, oh, it's me. Lo kochi ve'etzem yadi. It's not you. It's God gave you the ability, right? Many people complain, right? And they say, oh, look, I have this. If you knew that God gave you this in order to have nothing else worse, you will be thankful, right? This is the power of splendor. And it says that the splendor is very much a source of fertility and nurturing substance. It's respected of, we call God, and they understand that everything happened to them because of God. There's a halacha in your mother's Mishnah, right? You have to think on the good as much as you think on the bad. Let's say something good happened to you. I always say, you found $1,000. How happy you are on the street. $1,000, you're so happy, right? Something like you lost 100, you're so upset. I said, no, you should be happy as much as you're happy finding that $1,000 or losing $100. You have to have the same because it's from God. If God take money, this is what the Zohar says in the Gemara. If God take money from you, it's against death. You're supposed to die. When God take money from you, a lot of money, let's say you lost, I don't know, 100,000 in the stock market. Don't ever be in the stock market. You know, Jews are not allowed to play the lottery. It's halacha. You're not allowed to play lottery. Yeah, you're not allowed to play lottery. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
This is the law, one of the 613 laws that we have. One of them is to not gamble something. It's not yours. It's better you give because you would lose it. Right? I always say La Vegas will never exist if you were winning.
Exactly.
Right? Another thing was created by Jews, right? The whole Vegas, is all Jewish. 90% of Vegas is Jews. But many people don't know. The word Vegas in Hebrew, Las Vegas. Las means not so good. Vegas means very bad. Right? Today, there were Jewish gangster back then. They needed to launder money and they needed to do gambling. They let somebody win just so people scream, but 99% lose. They will not have. Vegas was the fastest growing city in America in the history of America. Right? You go there, you see.
It started by Jew Siegel.
Bugsy Siegel, yes. Another great Jew.
Gangster.
Very bad Jew. Anyway, so when you have this component of so-called hod, the splendor, you really understand that there's a lot of greater things for you. Even if things are bad, they're not bad. They're good. You just don't see it yet. God doesn't want to do bad things to anybody. God wants to do only good. Right? A king without a kingdom is not a king. You can be a king, you don't have a kingdom. Okay, you're a king with your room by yourself. God created this world for us to understand that He wanted to give it to us. Right? Look how beautiful this world is. With all the problems that we have, we caused it. It's not God. God is just, look, you want to fight? Go ahead. Good luck with that. In Europe, they said anti-Semitism. Let's take all the Jews out of Europe. Right? Europe was flourishing when the Jews were there. It's called the Golden Age, right? Tor HaZahav. Billionaires in Europe when the Jews were there. They took out the Jews from the Holocaust. So it says, no problem. God sends a humor. Here's their cousins. Good luck. And they're ruining Europe now. Europe is gone to the Arabs. There's people are afraid to walk in the street. Yes. But in a sense, because they wanted to take out the good, out of what? Jealousy. Instead of, when somebody have a good employee, you don't want to be jealous. You promote them more. The more they do, the more money you make. The European did not see that. Look at the rich. They were jealous. In the meantime, King Fernando was the richest man in Europe by the Jews. His minister of finance was a rabbi, Abarbanel. Made him so much money. All the country in the world, Jews gave money to. China was built by two Jewish men, Sassoon and Kaduri from Iraq. They opened China. China was created by two Jews. There's a book called The Last King of Shanghai. Read it, you'll see it. America was saved by a Jew. Eliyahu Salomon, a Jew, very rich, stopped the war between the South and the North. Says, what are you fighting? I'll give you money. Work together. That's why they put in God we trust is Him. Right? You have in the dollar bill, every bill you have in God we trust, and you have the David stars there, 13 of them, and you have the eagle, which is God, so to speak, and you have the olive branch, which is also what's the ark, the pigeon brought to Noah after the flood was done. It's all signs of, godly. America understood that there's better to have Jews. Almost 99% of the finance minister of America were Jewish. Even, today. Yeah, right now.
Down the hall to the left.
Okay. So, again, this is the essence of having splendor understanding. Okay? And now we go to what we call the last two. Are you good? We can do this fast? Yes? Yeah. All right. Any question until now? Yes, sir.
Go back a little bit. So if it was about the shoes thing.
Okay.
So if, say, for instance, your wife says, all right, I'm going to step outside. My shoes are in my room. I want to just go put your shoes on real quick.
That's okay. That's for a minute. That's fine. But don't wear them every day. Don't give them to somebody. Yeah, that's okay. Okay?
Thank you.
I tried her high heels. Not so good. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No. I'm just saying. It was just an interesting question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friends of mine do that. It's just like,
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. But don't give your shoes to somebody else so they can have them, wear them not allowed. Okay?
thank you.
That's the cobbler. You have to watch this movie. It's unbelievable. It's exactly what the oral Torah says. Yeah, there's many movies we missed. You know, all the movies, like you see the movie Gulliver, right? You heard of Gulliver, the giant?
Yeah.
It's in the Torah, you know. Og Melech HaBashan was the giant that helped nations. You know, they used to hire him to protect. You know, Sleeping Beauty, also from the Torah. Cinderella from the Torah. The witch is the snake giving the apple, right? In Christianity. So here, give an apple to Adam and Eve, right? It's a movie from the Torah.
So
Yes?
on the giants.
Yes.
How tall was the tallest giant?
So the baby bed was 9 meters. That's the baby. Baby fits into a 9-meter bed. They were actually reach almost 60 meters. You know, Moses was 5 meters tall. Yes. Moses, when he jumps, he hit the ankle of the giant and killed him. You know, sometimes to drop a giant, all you have to do is not have to go hit their heads or just the the ankle, I'm sorry.
Achilles heel.
Huh?
Achilles heel.
Achilles heel. That's why they call it Achilles. It's from the Torah. It's all from the Torah. Many, you know, you'll come to realize when you know the Torah in the sense that you really know the Torah, you realize everything that you know and grew up with, movies, it's all from the Torah. All from the Torah. All right, the last two is what we call the Yesod. The Yesod is the foundation. You have to have a good foundation in everything, right? You want to build a building, you have to have a good foundation. You got to think of a million things before you start building the building. You want to run the water, the sewer, where is it going? How far is this from the city main? You don't want any backup. You want electricity. What kind of electricity, right? You want material that would hold, because you know some cements crumble after 2 years, some of them for eternity. There's all kinds of things you have to think about. When you have this knowledge of those Sefirot, those power divine, you think in a different way, right? The Yesod, it says, is the foundation, is the channel that unite the other two middle figures. So we said, you know, the other two, we have these two here, right? This is actually right underneath. This is the foundation. So it's connect to the Hod, the splendor, and it's connect to the eternity, the Netzach. This Sephirah, this power, divine supernal power, connects from the two middle. So it says really, in a sense, it's almost a figure of a tree. And in other words, it means which is Tiferet, is the male principle of the divine way. You know, very, very important. You know, Adam sinned, right? But who sinned first? Eve, right?
Yeah.
Eve came to Adam. Adam should have said, no, with all due respect, man up. Don't be a coward and say, oh, it's my wife's fault. No. Women can, you know, we have a joke in Hebrew. 100 men cannot get one woman can get 100 men. You heard that? Adam sinned, and God says, what have you done? And you know what Adam did? He blames God. He said, you gave me this girl. Instead of saying, I'm sorry. Because if Adam says, I'm sorry, we'll all be in heaven. God made Adam. He knows he's not perfect. He's not godly. He has a spark of God. When sometimes you come to a decision, even if you love a woman or you love your husband or whatever, you love your friends, and they come and tell you, let's do this, that it's wrong, have this yesod, have the foundation to say no. Believe me, there's no winners ever with somebody that's crooked. They will always lose everything. You might gain here and there, but you would lose everything. You would have a very miserable life. Always do everything perfect, everything be godly. Because the more you do that, God will give you more. You're like a banker. If you're a good banker and you give the poor and you do everything right, you don't cheat, God will give you more. You know, it's very interesting. When a person dies, there's 6 questions God asks them. When the soul goes up to heaven, God asked, the first question, asks, how was your business? Were you good with your clients, with your dealing? What kind of question is that? God asked our soul, how was your business dealing? That's the first question. And then he asked, did you set time for Torah? He didn't ask, Hashem doesn't ask, did you learn my words? Did you set time to learn my words? Our sages has a very big debate. Why Hashem ask a murderer, did you set time for Torah? A rapist, a thief, did you set time? You know he's a murderer. It comes, you know. It says God, this says, if you set time for Torah, you will never be a murderer. You'll never be a thief. You'll never do anything bad. Because you would know the 10 Commandments is given to everybody. You know, the 10 Commandments, if you look at it, doesn't say anything about Jews. Nothing. I am your God to everybody. Don't have other God to everybody. Don't make yourself other God like statue or Jesus or Muhammad. Don't. Right? He said, remember the Sabbath, rest. You cannot work 7 days a week. Your body cannot handle it. And respect it in Hebrew, and your father and mother. But before your father and mother, it says et. Right? What's et? Is Aleph through Taf, A through Z. Respect everything in between. It's also Elohim and Torah. Respect God and the Torah. On the other side, he said, you shall not murder. He doesn't say, don't murder a Jew. Don't murder anybody. Don't steal from anybody. Don't torture anybody. Don't cheat on anybody. Don't covet anybody. Right? Those are humanity foundation. This is Yesod. When you know that God gives you an opportunity, we create our own wealth or losses or destiny by our actions. Nobody controls us but us. Hashem gives us the ability to choose, right? There's one thing you can always do. You can always choose. There's no free choice. Many people make mistakes, especially the Arab. The Arab says always maktub, right? Maktub means it's written, it's already there. So if it's written, why you hurt each other and kill a thief or cut, in Iran, if you steal, they cut your hand off. There's no trial. Mm-hmm. If you're gay, they kill you in a second, right? And they are on the Human Society of the UN, right? In reality, God shows you how stupid nation and people could be because they think they're above nature. They think they're above God, right? This foundation, there's no free choice. When you choose, there's always either rewards or punishment. There's no free. There's nothing called free. What's free in our life, imagine you breathing now. Right? You breathe air. In the COVID, people used to pay $1,200. Doctor will tell you. You went to the hospital, you got an oxygen container, $1,200 on your bill. $1,200 to breathe. How many days can you afford to breathe? God give us for free to breathe. Right? You breathe. This or, by the way, avir, right, is the same letter. Air and light in Hebrew is the same letter. In a sense, when God created the light, He created so many other things with it. So have this foundation. Always know that this is a yesod, is the foundation which creativity and fertility, meaning not just for a female. Men can create a lot of things, do a lot of good deeds, help a lot of people. The color is orange. You know, we have a fruit called orange, right? Have you ever looked at an orange? Like really looked at an orange? If you open the orange, there's like thousands of little bottles of drinking. You know, there's juice inside. It's covered with klipa. You know, klipa means an outer shell, right? It's inside. There's almost like a cotton that protect those little bottles. And there's veins that feeds every little bottle, right? You look at the orange, you say, "Wow, this is an amazing creation from a tree that you didn't even plant." Right, a tree of there, you put a seed. You take a seed of an orange. I do this every year from the etrog. I take a seed of a citrus. I plant it, a seed, and I have a tree in a year. In 3 years, I have fruit from a seed. Right, the earth is a mother. You take an earth, nothing. You put a seed, a little bit of water, boom, green stuff grows. You know how the drip system was invented in Israel? You heard of the drip system, right? The drip system is one of the richest company ever in Israel. A guy in the Golan Heights, there was no rain. And he could not afford to, water his field. And he had a hose outside of his house that has a hole in it. He's drinking coffee one morning, he goes to the field. You see there's a drop from a little, one of the hose. And around the drop, tons of green. Like all kinds of little plants, weed, whatever. It's all green. What is this? One drop like this green? So he took the hose and made holes and just, stretch it. A week later, every drop green. He developed the drip system. Sold it for a few $1 billion. They used to call Naan. All right, we're going to finish the last one. Malchut, kingship. This is the last one. It's called, the kingship is actually something that's correlate with what we call the highest level of attribute of God. Because, oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for coming. You owe me a golf game. He got out of the hospital for 2 months and 8 months of assisted living, and he promised me to play golf.
Wow,
He's
nice.
walking and driving. He could not walk before. So, you see, this is a miracle. Be'ezat Hashem. So Malchut is really the kingship. It's an attribute of God that, when a king, what a king wants to do. Many kings, bad kings, want more for them, right? There's two kinds of king. There's a king like a spider. A spider, it's only from him, right? It makes the web from him, nothing from the outside. On the other hand, you have a bee that bring honey. The bee goes to many plants, many flowers, many fruit trees. She created honey. There's a king that want to give to his kingship, to his so-called people, his country, and there's a king that want to just take from the country. You see in Iran, you have the Ayatollah, right? Everybody's poor. 95% of them don't have food to eat. But Saddam Hussein, all those palaces and amazing fortune. Why the people are poor? Most of the Arab world still live like the Bible time. Even in Egypt, they still live off the Nile. Today. But on the other hand, you have kings in Europe, in America, that want the people to have a lot. They want people to have a good American dream, they call it, right? It's become the American catastrophe. But in a sense, right, today, nobody can buy a house. A couple, you have to have $1.5 million to buy a simple 2-bedroom house. It's not good. In the old days, 200, 300,000, it's good. People can start their life. But a good king wants the people to have better life. And that's what God is. God is a good king. He gives us everything. You have opportunity to do anything you want. Anything you want. He gave you wisdom that you can create things. Everything that we see technology now is already here. It didn't come from anywhere else. Right? Many people, UFO. No, there's no such thing. There is actually aliens that come from underneath our world that has technology. I did a class about it. 7 world. There's a world that has technology galore. They actually, a world that's handsome men and beautiful women cannot have children and they're forgetful. And they come to our world and they don't know how to go back sometimes.
Which world is that?
One of the world, Tzia. There's 7 world, there's 7, yeah.
Rabbi, why don't they take us over?
Huh? You cannot survive there because you cannot. Many people always say, "Oh, I was kidnapped by aliens. They drilled here, they did that." They all have the same story, right? Thousands of people, and they always describe a creature that has no nose, 2 eyes, and that, right? It actually exists.
It's in the Kabbalah.
Yes, it's in a book of the Kabbalah of the Zohar. It exists in this world. We have 6 worlds underneath it.
So what happens? They get abducted and they go
So
down
every
to the
world, when Adam sinned, God threw him to the deepest world.
Right.
Okay, and then he climbed slowly. When he repent, then he came out again. Okay, please open and eat some stuff. No, don't be shy. Okay, and we're gonna leave you some stuff. But in a sense, the Malchut, the kingship. How do you define a king? What? Repeat that.
So the people that say that they get
I didn't answer on purpose because we're going to do a class about it. But just so you know, there is 7 worlds. That's what the God says.
So the 7 worlds, though, are you talking about the 7?
There are 7 skies.
Yeah, right.
There are 7 layers, 7 worlds. Hell is one of the world underneath.
Oh, okay.
There's a world that's all minotaurs, half men, half animals. There's a world that's men and women, but cannot have children. There is a world that has all darkness. There is a world that has like Smurfs. It's from the Torah, Smurfs, just so you know. Yes, creatures but they're actually almost like mini dinosaurs. Yes?
Are there like ways to get to these different
Idea, what? Can you repeat that?
Are there like ways to get into these like different worlds?
So there's one, you heard of, and that's also brought in the oral Torah. You heard of mermaids? Not mermaid, mermaids. Mermaids is in the Torah. They actually live inside the ocean in their own world, very dangerous. And they can actually come out to our world and kill people on the ocean. They sing to them, put them to sleep, and eat them. Yes. You heard of the Bermuda Triangle? Mm-hmm. It's 2,000 years ago already was told by the Tanaim. It's appeared in the Gemara. The Gemara says there is a powerful triangle where things disappear there. Back then, sheep used to be just sucked into that. There's a world underneath that gets sucked into that. The Bermuda Triangle. It's in the Gemara, just so you know. Doctor, what are you laughing at? Share with us. You have a question? Yes. There is, they call it, but the Gemara give it a different name. I did a class about it, 5 years ago. I was astonished because I always learn before. I cannot teach unless I know. And I did not know about it. One rabbi taught me, and I said I did a big research about it, and I went to all the sources and put together a class. It's unbelievable. It's all, by the way, you read the Torah, you don't realize it's in there. When you read that, yeah?
Nobody believes really. Has nothing to do with religion. There is a big motion now, but there is a world out there that we don't know about.
6.
Beyond Antarctica.
No. So here's the thing. Antarctica has one, this is to answer your question, there's one entrance to one world through Antarctica. Okay? Antarctica is one of the lands that nobody allowed to visit.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to go to Antarctica. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. There's only few forces of government that goes there. Scientists. There's many, everything that we don't see, it's God doesn't want us to see. There's many things in this world we don't see. I want you to know, now we're studying here, you have good angels and bad angels around us. You don't see them. You have literally Malache Chabala, sabotage angel, that works for Satan. And then you have good angels that come to protect us. You don't see them. God did not give us this vision. Right? Animals sees them. You know how your cat all of a sudden jumps, or you have cats or dogs will go crazy because they see things you don't see.
But wouldn't they see them all the time?
No, sometimes, not all the time. I saw a coyote in our neighborhood by the mountain, staring, not moving. I'm like, what is he looking at? So I took a picture to show my wife. I see a spirit in the camera, but not in my eyes. Wow. Yeah, a whole silhouette. I'll send it to you. I haven't. Yes. So God says, God says, I have angels that guard you. If you're with me, angel will guard you and help you. How many times you were saved? You could have been dead, right? Sometimes you have an accident, you fall. All kinds of, oh my God, I can't believe I survived that, right? Angels were helping you. On the other hand, if you don't stay with God, there is demons. It's called shed demon. They work for Satan. They come to harm you. Most of the harm that's done in the world is at night. Right? At night, you have all kinds of bad people out there. Right?
There's a question there.
1 second. All the bad things happen at night. That's where the demons looking for people that go partying, murdering, raping. They take them as soldiers to do what they want. It's called demons, shedim. That's why at night, you don't want to go out there. There's halacha that says, you go to shul, you're done, go home. Come study Torah. Don't walk around. Don't go by yourself somewhere in the dark, because you're subject to those demons. Yes. If you do bad things, they will help you do even more successful, and they own you. That's it. All your life, you'll be in a very bad thing. Yes.
Oh, I was going to ask, can you challenge demons? Let's say you can, there's one there.
Yeah, there's only
Can you
one.
tell them, I'm not scared of you, don't.
So don't say that, because they can kill you in a second. You cannot take a demon. Demons are half angel, half creatures. There's many people, sometimes you see, you feel like, oh my God, I don't want to.
So like, don't challenge.
Don't challenge, just stick to God. They said that if you feel like a demon comes to you, immediately do something godly. Read the Bible, do good things, say a chapter of Psalms. Very, very hard to defeat. There's one person that defeated a demon. Yaakov. Yaakov fought with the evil angel of Esau all night. Night, if you see. Remember, it says night. Yaakov vayavek imo kol halayla. He fought with him the whole night. The moment the day came, the light, the angel said, I got to go. Because he cannot work in the day. He can pursue you in the day if you're not with God. He will follow you, and at night he will let you do a lot of bad things. Scary, huh? All right, so the last one, as we say, is the malchut, is the kingship. So God very much wants to always show you how great of a king he is, because there's so many things he wants to give you. Like he wants to give you health, wealth, a good husband, good wife, good home. Today we have so much. If you go 2 generations ago, people had to go to the bathroom, in the field. There's no toilet paper. Can I tell you a joke? One kid says to his father, Abba, they were in a camping. He says, I have to go to the bathroom. He said, what's the problem? Take $1. Oh, the kids come back, his hands already. So what happened? He said, I only had change. Steve, that's for you. All right, so let's continue. So it says that a king want to give. A good king wants his, servants or his people or his, what's another word in English? Subject. That's actually not a good king. You're not a subject. You're human. You're a person. He wants the people that, his own nation to have good. So he builds them roads. They have running water. That makes them, bring all the scientists. Let's develop something better. This is the sense of where we are. God gave us so much knowledge today. You can make anything you want. Faster computer, better food, healthy medicine. People live longer today. In the old days, my neighbor died at 39. I thought he was like 95 years old. Wow, I'm so old. Today, people live average, 86, doctor, for men. You know why men dies before women? They had enough. I'm kidding. So the essence of malchut, sovereignty, that's the word I was looking for, is really to understand that God wants to give you a lot of things, but you have to be the conduit for it. If you're not a vessel, a good vessel is one that has no holes in it. Let's say I want to give you something to drink. If you have holes in the cup, no matter how much I pour, nothing stays. God says, be the good kli, be a good vessel. I want to give you more. I want to give you kingship. I want you to feel like you are the king. Right? A good king always, many times you see in the movies, kings bring people to eat, the king doesn't have to do it. But he wants the subject, like you said, to see how good it could be if they're with him. Right? When you're with God, you get a lot of good. But when you're not, then you have a lot of trouble. God gives you troubles to get you closer. The word ra in Hebrew, bad, is actually rea, a friend. Enough is enough, huh? All right, so we'll finish with that. I'm kidding. But Miss Hope, I want you to know. Today, unfortunately, most of the world don't believe in God. They don't believe in God. The whole separation of state and church. What does it mean? They don't want God in school. They don't want children to know God. State and church is something that came from the left craziest people that don't want children to know that there is God. That's what they call it. They want to separate this so they have no foundation. And look at the generations are gone. Like we have children now, Elohim Yishmo. Yeah? Yes.
Going back to mezuzah.
Yeah.
We put it on the doorposts, right?
Yes.
And it's to keep what the
So in and out. Yeah. Yeah.
the bad. So why, if it's supposed to keep the bad energy out from the outside?
It's not to keep the bad, it's to protect you from the bad. Yes. When we have a on the post door, we put on the right side God's prayers in a box. It's called mezuzah. Okay? Mezuzah in Hebrew, it's two words. Mizeh, vezeh. Protects you from inside and outside. Okay? That's what I mean, mezuzah. Mezuzot, many, moziz mavet. It removes death from your home. Right? You heard of Onkelos? And we'll finish with that. Miss Hope. That's it. Last story. There was a very, very rich nobleman named Onkelos. He was the nephew of Titus. Titus that went to destroy the temple. So this young man asked Titus, says, what's a good thing to invest in? He says something that you buy low and sell high, right? Everybody knows that. But he says, usually go to a country that has potential. We're the Roman, we control it. Tell me whatever you want to do. So he went to Israel. This Onkelos, this young man, nephew of Titus, went to Israel. And he happened to go hear a rabbi speak about Judaism. And he fell in love. And he actually converted. Now his uncle want to kill him. He sends soldiers, Roman soldiers, go find him, bring him. I want to kill him. You go against the Romans, they are our subject. That's what the Gemara says. So he says, they caught him, came 10 Roman, caught him. Before he leaves his house, he kissed the mezuzah. He said, what are you doing? He says, this is our God. This protect us on the outside, on the inside. So he started teaching them, convert all 10 of them. So his uncle sent another 10. Same thing. Converts them. He says, next 10, don't talk to him. Cover his mouth, arrest him, bring him to me. And he was walking like this. He goes like, kiss the mezuzah without hands. So they said, what are you doing? He says, we, the Roman, has our generals send the soldier first. The Jews, the general go first. Like Israel, just so you know, military is the only military that the heads of the military fight, go ahead of the soldiers. No other military does that. The lieutenant, the commander, whatever, he's the first one to go. Or she the first one to go. Never. The soldiers are second. So he says, look, God is our general. He's here protecting us outside on the mezuzah. And look at Titus sitting in a palace and you are here. And he converted them too. He merited to be such a convert that he wrote the whole explanation to the Torah in Aramaic. Every Bible in the world has his portion, right? If you look at the Chumash, Onkelos, that's him. Right? I want you to know, all of us were Jews in the beginning. We were the children of who? Abraham had 2 children, right? He had Ishmael, the Arab, and he had Isaac, right? From Isaac, we have Esau and Jacob. Esau was the son of a rabbi. Yitzhak was a rabbi. He was the head rabbi of Israel. He just chose to go in a different path. Jacob chose God. That's why Christian goes to war. The Christian has what's their sign? Cross. A cross is upside down sword. When they're in peace, it's upside down. When they're against you, they lift it. The Crusaders. Right? Many, many people don't know. Most Christians are Jews. Jesus was Jewish. Christianity started by Constantinos 370 years after Jesus. Yes?
Asking a question about the world
Yeah.
that you were talking about. Are the people there, or the creatures there, say the Minotaur?
I'm not going to answer you. We're going to do a class.
I know.
All right, go ahead. Only because you brought wine. Okay, go ahead.
No, but were they originally people and they were punished?
Yes, exactly. Because when God created the world, there was a generation, 10 generations from Adam to Noah. Those people were punished
So that's
to
what
be
they
thrown
were.
into earth. Yes, a lot of them. Yes, sir.
Rabbi, it's been said, we've heard of things.
Don't believe it.
Hold on. We've heard this before, and every one of us has. Only the good die young. Why is it so?
Don't believe it. Don't believe it.
It's
It's
a
a
saying.
saying.
For a long time. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, why is it some of us are blessed to have a long life, 100, even more? Some people are blessed to have life.
Yes.
And some people, not so much.
Exactly. So we don't understand reincarnation. Some people come. I had a neighbor in Israel, in Rosh Pina. They had a circumcision. A boy, baby, we have to circumcise at 8 days. So the circumcised, we were at the shul, the circumcised. The moment the circumcised, the baby died. Right after the circumcision. Now everybody's crying. The grandfather is a rabbi, is smiling. Smiling with tears, but smiling. So everybody says, his son says, well, why are you smiling? I just lost my baby. He says, you did the biggest mitzvah. This neshama, this soul came just to fix the brit. They didn't have a good circumcision before. They came to the world just to fix this. We come to this world to fix things.
It's like Rabbi Akiva.
Rabbi Akiva, many. We come here, whatever is hard for you, regardless Jewish or not, whatever is hard for you, that's what you need to fix. Okay? That's your fix. Don't go to, the Everest to find yourself. It's right in here. Ask yourself, what can I be? What's hard for me? What's my bad character that I need to fix? People die young. It's a saying. It's not really true. People die when they're finished their job in this world. Okay? There's wicked people that die very old because they need to suffer. This is the last time they'll be in this world and they go to hell forever. In the book of Vayetchanan, there's one portion that Moshe begs God 515 times to enter the land of Israel. The last 3 verses of that parasha, read it, is the whole, everything about humanity, rewards and punishment. God says, for the good people, I'll give them worlds to come. For the wicked, I'll pay them here. You want your Ferrari? I give it to you now. You want your villa? I'll give it to you. But that's it. That's all you get. This world, whatever you have, that's it. You'll never get anything else. You'll go to hell forever. Yes?
So you know how sometimes God makes good people suffer here and it lessens their
Yeah,
suffering,
of course.
So is that something somebody, like say my father with his cancer and how he's on hospice, is he suffering here?
Yes, it's better for him here than
Right.
her father, she gave to me, can I tell them the story? 2 years ago, almost 2 years, she goes, my father's dying, can you pray for him? I said, who told you he's dying? She goes, the doctor. I said, don't believe the doctor. We pray for him, we start reading, and then 2 years after, it's better than the doctor ever expected.
No, that's my mom.
Yeah, your mom,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then her father, yeah. No, but I'm saying, and your father, now, they gave him how much? They gave him 3 months, I remember, something crazy. I said, don't listen to the doctor. Like even Steve will tell you, real doctors believe God gives them the ability to heal. And her father, we've been praying for him, still as strong as they come. They gave him, I swear, I think you said back then, like a few weeks even. A month, something like that. Because you have to go. He said, I have to go. He's dying. I said, don't listen to it. Remember, didn't I tell you that? Don't listen to the doctor. Pray for him. God is the one decide. No doctors and no batich. It's no batich in Hebrew. No BS. God only. And God, literally, if you suffer in this life, it's better that you don't suffer unfortunately in a different way. All right, again, thank you so much, Brian. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. Please take some food, whatever you like, pizza. God bless you all.
Very good.
If you